Wait. Wait. A Katon actually did major damage? Holy shit. Yo, what's up, guys? It is time for, Naruto Gaiden, aka, uh, TNT We Know Drama, Bolt Sarada Sasuke Naruto edition. So, this chapter, I'm not sure what to think about it, but, uh, let's go over some of the different things that happened. First off, first thing I have to address is it's best I finish this and him quickly with my full power. Hmm. Oh, Sasuke, you're gonna use a Matarasu. Oh, maybe you'll use Susanoo. Perfect Susanoo. Maybe you use some kind of Rinnegan technique. Maybe Great Dragon Fireball? Nope. Gokyaku no Jutsu. Literally the first move he ever learned to use as a child that did like fuck all to anybody in the entire series. Okay, that's his full power? What? Where, like, where the fuck is Susanoo? Anyway, I'll get there. So, like, he actually does something, like, major to the one Shin clone. Or, I mean, clone is not the right word, but it's the right word, but in the series' context, it's not, but it actually does, like, major damage to it, and actually incapacitates it. Like, it's rare that a Katon actually does actual damage in the series. Uh, anyway, he does use that switcheroo technique, the room, but um, one of the interesting things was that I like that he actually used it, but um, can't is not using anything else. I don't know, but I'm glad he used it. So he used the switcheroo, which has a really long name that I don't know how to pronounce. And of course, what's her name? Sarada's like, my dad, he's a total badass. Like, really? I mean, not really. I mean, he's kind of cool sometimes, but he also looks like Madara. That's probably why. She, because Madara is badass. There's a difference. Anyway, I'm rambling. So apparently the dad's name is Uchiha Shin as well. Um, so it's like, does that make him like the original clone of what seems to be Uchiha Shin? That's what I'm banking on right now. Um, or it could just be Uchiha Shin Jr. I mean, it could just be that simple, but it's usually not that simple. Um, not with Kishimoto. Though sometimes the simplest answer is the correct one, like Occam's razor. But anyway, it was interesting because uh, the bald ass Uchiha Shin basically he at the beginning he grabbed the sword and then he was able to control it um, later on and pierce a fucking Biju cloak. So I mean, it's I could talk about the inconsistencies of how the fuck a Bijimo cloak was able to block a friggin' Bijudama laser from a Jubi with its tails and only like suffer minor damage and basically had like the same durability as Sasuke's curse sealed Susanoo back in the fight against Jubito. But he can kind of just get stabbed by a sword, and Madara could get stabbed by Obito's hand. Uh, just weird, but I know piercing damage is not the same as that, but I don't know. It just seems ridiculous. But has anybody else noticed that Sasuke's sword has changed? Before he was using guardless katana, now he has a guard on it. He has like that cylindrical, like that donut-shaped guard. Um, I can't be the only one that has noticed that since the beginning of uh, this series. I think it might have been in chapter 700, but freaking Sakura comes in and just lays this smackdown on this person who's actually dead from it, I think, because this Uchiha Shin was, yeah, I mean he was dead because he was sitting in like the lab later on. So it's like, the fuck? I don't know. With Sakura, I don't know. She came in, I guess, had a good time because freaking Sasuke gets himself injured. Why? Because he can't use Susanoo apparently. Uh, literally shields Sarada with his own body, which I mean is good, but it just doesn't make sense because yeah, Susanoo. Where is it? At the very least, you have like Chidori, um, which could at least coat your arm, or like Chidori Nagashi. There you go. Chidori Nagashi was great for defensive capabilities and offensive. I don't know. It's just retarded. Um, but no Susanoo is just ugh, what the hell's going on? And apparently the reason is because they've devolved from peacetime. Anyway, uh, I mean even Naruto's like I'm pathetic after hearing Kurama basically say you're pathetic. He's like, yep, I agree. Um, is there much else? I mean, Cho's just kind of there at this point. Um, but like Sakura basically says to her, she's like, you know, I wanted to eventually sit down with you and you know, just sort of explain everything. And Sasuke's like, no, it's my responsibility. Like I'm the one who should be apologizing, which is true. Um, and then he says, but I just, and gets interrupted. But that little Juby looking thing took away some of the bodies. Um, I don't know. Anyway, I mean that's honestly almost about it because oh wait, yeah, the thing wasn't dead because right, it talked at the end. I was talking to Sakura as I'm rereading this chapter. I literally was the first chapter I read when I woke up because that was always my my routine was Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, Toriko, which I did follow again this morning. Um, so it did talk to Sakura and was like she's like concerned with his quote unquote kid, even though I don't know, she's just being kind of like crazy. But I mean that's it. Uh, chapter overall, I mean, objectively, it wasn't that good of a chapter because of just these small all inconsistencies of shit like the fact that he's not using Susanoo, uh he's not even using anything that could that is better than Fireball Jutsu. Okay, he didn't even use Chidori's spear. Yeah, there you go. That's something that can easily combat freaking trench knives. Chidori spear. Forget Nagashi. I mean that's like the best Chidori variant if you ask me. But yeah, Chidori spear, Nagashi, Senbon. All the Chidori variants could have blocked that shit. Nope. I'm gonna stand in front because I have a parent's instinct all of a sudden. No. No, it doesn't work like that, Sasuke. You had a lover's instinct back in the original series of part 2 where Obito is attacking Naruto and you blocked it with your Susanoo hand. Okay, so why can't you do the same thing here? If you can't use it, that's fine, but again, it's not like you can't use Chidori variants. Uh, I know I'm rambling, but it's just fucking stupid. Um, and Naruto is, I don't know what he's doing. But anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you all for listening to my incessant rambling, and we'll see you all next week.
Hello everybody and welcome to this week's Naruto Gaiden review. This is chapter 6 of the, or 700 plus 6, whatever, or 706, however you want to do it. Now this chapter was as predicted a battle-focused chapter, and, Sasuke was proving to be too much for our opponents, using his friggin', teleportation technique, teleportation switching technique, room, to switch with young Shin, because apparently this guy's name is Shin, so apparently Kishimoto is like, oh, I'm just gonna be so unoriginal, so this guy's gonna be Shin, and he's creating all these, weird other Uchiha celery head weirdos that are also just gonna be called Shin. It's just really weird. I mean, at this point, I'm pretty much predicting that there's somebody. I mean, it's Naruto. There's always someone behind, everybody. So that means that which is why I think this guy isn't even the leader of this new revival of Akatsuki, and that there's somebody else behind it. Because why would this guy call himself Shin? And then why would this person Uchiha Shin name all these weird clone things Uchiha Shin as well? That's odd. But anyway, I digress. So then, when they realize that they can't win, they somehow the main the Uchiha Shin's manga Kishan ability allows him to manipulate weapons. So because he touched Sasuke's sword once, he was able to have it fly from out of Sasuke's hand into Naruto's gut when they were standing next to each other. Effectively, Naruto now has to take it out. Not much, but I mean, to a normal person, it probably would do some serious damage and possibly even kill them. But Naruto has such a high recovery rate that it doesn't really matter. Then he starts sending a bunch of different things at Sarada, which then causes Sasuke to block. Because, he's a father and he doesn't want his daughter to get hurt. And then these pieces also not only inflict damage upon Sasuke, but they kind of, hold him down, kind of like limit his movements. And then just when, Shin goes to attack again, Sakura shows up and just punches the shit out of him, while screaming, "Do not hurt you! Lay another finger on my husband and child!" So the mad props to Sakura this chapter. Sakura is watching all this, so she gets to see how badass Sasuke is and how badass Sakura is, or can be, I should say. And so, of course, this effectively is taking the two Shins out. They start the little Juby thing decides to use the freaking Kamui to take away the two Shins, but he also manages to get Sakura in the mix too. So, just when you think, they're all going to attack Sakura, apparently they're using her to heal him, do surgery on him, and Sakura's more worried about the child. He's actually seems like she's trying to save the child. So it's very odd. Very odd indeed. But I guess it kind of explains why this Uchiha Shin has all these little kids as warriors. They seem to be possibly clones of himself. He's a young child, maybe, which is why he calls them Uchiha Shin, and why he knows that he can transplant their organs into him because, well, they're probably clones of himself. So if which would explain why they would have the same Mangekyo. Now there are some definitely interesting things here, and that is, if he is actually an Uchiha survivor, and his name is actually Uchiha Shin, what is his relationship to, to, what is his relationship to, I can't believe it, to Sasuke and his brother Itachi? What are their relate with? Like, what is his relation to Itachi? Why is it that he even know what is his relationship? We've never met this person before, seemingly. Especially, but it's kind of hard since he's done a number on his body. So it's kind of difficult to say whether or not who he is. It's kind of weird. It's even though he's revealed his face and even said his name, it still feel like there's a big reveal waiting to find out what his true identity is. And if he's an Uchiha, what is his relation to the Akatsuki? Because only Itachi was the only and Sasuke were the only Uchihas to be involved. Okay, sorry, and Obito. Literally, there was they were the only three surviving Uchihas in the massacre. So unless there was this friggin' DBZ and there was an Uchiha who was away from the village at the time, didn't get executed, it would be kind of odd. And even if it's true, wouldn't he hate Itachi as opposed to like him? Even to the point where he would try to revive the Akatsuki and get revenge on Sasuke for killing him? It's very, very odd, in my opinion. And I mean, this chapter, I really like this chapter. It was a pretty good chapter, and over it produces a lot of questions. I mean, the pacing has been pretty decent. It's not going slow, which is good because it's only a mini series. And but the problem is there, and the only complaint I have is there and that it's a mini series, and Kishimoto is putting so much content in here and seemingly setting up so many things, because he's presenting us with so many different questions. It's like, what? Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Why as to why he would do this? And then have it end. Like, is it all gonna try? Is he gonna try and have it all culminate in Bolt movie? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem like it because it sounds more like it's looking like it's tuning exams. And Naruto's or Bolt's gonna try and train with Sasuke, and then his Sarada is his rival. And it's kind of odd. So it's definitely gonna be different, interesting to see how this Naruto Gaiden progresses. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and hope to see you all next week.